What if your headset knew when you were stressed before you did? And what if it used that data to help you make smarter, more profitable decisions in real time? Welcome to the next era of human potential where tech doesn't just respond to us, it feels us. This isn't Black Mirror, it's real. And it could make or break your future wealth also. If your headset ever rolls its eyes at you, don't worry. That just means it knows too much. We're diving into emotional reading headsets, how they work, who's building them, and why investors are betting billions that this tech will change how we trade crypto, manage stress, and make decisions under pressure. These headsets use IG sensors to read your brain's electrical activity. But instead of just detecting drowsiness or focus, they pick up emotional excitement sometimes before you're even aware of them. Think of it as a mood ring with data, but instead of changing colors, it changes how you act. Some headsets layer brainwaves with heart rate, skin response, even tiny facial movements, creating a high-res snapshot of how you feel in real time. EEG tracks the rhythm of your thoughts. Machine learning kicks in, trained on thousands of emotional brain scans. Joy, frustration, focus, boredom. It decodes what state you're in milliseconds. That signal becomes feedback. You see it on a screen, hear it through a ping, or feel it as a haptic buzz. So when your lights suddenly go red at work, it might not be the smart bulb, it might be your stress. Originally developed for elite soldiers and cognitive therapy, this tech is now crossing into trading floors, mental wellness, gaming, even daily life. Emotions drive decisions. And in high-stakes environments like crypto markets, those swings can kill your edge. That's why more traders are using these headsets, not just to know when they're compromised. Imagine your device sensing that spike in cortisol. Right before you hit buy on a meme coin, it buzzes you're stressed. Step back, that kind of clarity isn't just helpful, it's a performance multiplier. Companies like Neurable and Emotiv use there in the lead. Some build for meditation and focus, others aim at productivity and trading. Neuralink wants to skip wearables altogether. It's working on direct implants, reading your mind, maybe even editing it. Sounds wild, sure, but real. Prototypes are out, early users are testing, and big money is moving in. Because the race isn't about who builds the best headset, it's about who monetizes your mind first. Now let's get real about risk. If your emotions are data, they can be tracked, bought, sold, used. Imagine a world where ads shift based on your mood, or your employer reviews your emotional logs, or your insurance rates rise because your headset says you're anxious. When emotional data becomes the product, you become the commodity. And what if the next app update doesn't just ask for camera access, but emotional access? Now meet Sam, he's 24. Trades crypto, ADHD, prone to hype, lost a lot during bull runs, chasing Mooncoin. Then he tried an emotion sensing headset. It tracked when his arousal spiked. When stress hit, he paused, waited. Over 6 months, he didn't make more trades. He made fewer dumb ones. Profits rose by 35%. He didn't outsmart the market. He outcalmed himself. Now picture Eliza, a 32-year-old high-frequency trader on Wall Street. She was known for her lightning speed trades and her crash cycles. After a massive loss in 2022, she turned to Neurable. Her headset mapped her attention span like a satellite. It showed her when she was sharp, and when she was emotional. She adjusted her trade times based on her mental state. Her returns tripled. The wealthy are already ahead on this. Hedge fund managers, high-stakes negotiators, they're using neurotech to sharpen edge, not just for reaction speed but emotional control. Forget faster Wi-Fi. The real power is knowing when your fear or greed is driving the wheel. And when you combine this with breath work, mindfulness, neurofeedback, you get a feedback loop. Performance optimization becomes a system. Your reactions, measured. Your weak spots, flagged. Your discipline, quantified. Now meet Sam, he's 24. Trades crypto, ADHD, prone to hype, lost a lot during bull runs, chasing moon coins. Then he tried an emotion sensing headset. It tracked when his arousal spiked. When stress hit, he paused, waited, breathed. Over 6 months, he didn't make more trades. He made fewer dumb ones. Profits rose by 35%. He didn't outsmart the market. He outcomed himself. Now picture Eliza, a 32-year-old high-frequency trader on Wall Street. She was known for her lightning speed trades and her crash cycles. After a massive loss in 2022, she turned to Neurable. Her headset mapped her attention span like a satellite. It showed her when she was sharp, and when she was emotional. She adjusted her trade times based on her mental state. Her returns tripled. The wealthy are already ahead on this. Hedge fund managers, high-stakes negotiators, there using neurotech to sharpen edge, not just for reaction speed, but emotional control. Forget faster Wi-Fi. The real power is knowing when your fear or greed is driving the wheel. And when you combine this with breath work, mindfulness, neurofeedback, you get a feedback loop. Performance optimization becomes a system. Your reactions, measured. Your weak spots, flagged. Your discipline, quantified. Think about Amir, a 41-year-old esports coach. His team struggled with tilt, stress, post-loss, slumps. So he introduced emotion-sensing headsets during training. They monitored stress during matches, built new mental routines. Result: his team went from regional underdogs to global finalists. Orlina, 29, a startup founder in Berlin. Her calendar was chaos. Investors, teams, product launches. Her headset gave her a daily rhythm report. Peak focus at 10 a.m., energy dips by 3 p.m., so she shifted her investor calls to her sharp zones. Her close rate, up 48% in 3 months. Then there's Raj. He's 45, a single dad and high school teacher. He used the headset, not for profit but peace. It helped him realize his morning stress came before he even left the house. So he created a 5-minute breath routine before waking the kids. Less shouting, more patience. Happier home, but here's the kicker. The more powerful the tech, the more dangerous the misuse. Imagine emotion-driven ads that hit you when you're most vulnerable. Hackers manipulating mood feeds, or governments regulating your state of mind. What happens when marketers know you better than you know yourself? What if emotion becomes currency? What if the next influencer contract requires emotional transparency? Or your favorite app adjusts pricing based on your mood? Would you trade privacy for performance if everyone else already has? And what happens when this tech becomes invisible, woven into glasses, contact lenses, clothing you won't even know it's on? Zoe knows. She's not a trader or a gamer, she's a nurse, works long hours, deals with burnout. She tried the headset to understand her own fatigue. It alerted her when her empathy dipped when she was at risk of making cold, robotic decisions. She used that data to change shifts, improve sleep, practice meditation. Her patient reviews shot up, her sense of purpose returned. Now think about Caleb. He's a 19-year-old college student dealing with anxiety and depression. He doesn't trust therapists, but he trusted data. His headset tracked his emotional spikes. He learned to recognize patterns before the spiral. It didn't cure him, but it gave him tools. For the first time, he felt like he had control. These stories aren't outliers. They're signals. The revolution won't be just in labs or trading floors. It's happening in classrooms, hospitals, homes. Because when emotion becomes data, it also becomes strategy. These headsets aren't fiction. They're here, growing, and they're already reshaping how we think, trade, and live. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, now's the time to understand this shift. And if you're ready for what's next, tap the next video on Brain to Crypto Wallets, because sending Bitcoin with your thoughts is closer than you think. And tell us, would you wear a headset that knows your every emotion? Now imagine this, it's 2030. Emotion-sensing headsets aren't just gadgets. They're built into your daily environment. Your car won't just park itself, it will know when you're too anxious to drive. It dims the lights, cues your favorite calming track, waits until your stress levels dip before hitting the road. Your fridge knows when it locks the snack drawer and recommends a walk. Your meetings, they're scheduled not just based on time zones, but on mental zones. When you're most alert, most open to collaboration, least irritable. This isn't just self-help bids. In Japan, a major tech firm saw a 23% productivity increase after implementing headset-based wellness tracking. Workers who opted in received real-time emotional analytics. Overwhelm rising. Take a walk, calm dropping. Time for a focus booster. It reduced burnout and slashed sick days in half. In Silicon Valley, a startup is developing a dating app powered by emotional data. You don't swipe based on looks. You connect based on brainwave compatibility. Shared calm levels, compatible dopamine peaks, real-time feedback during a date. The future of love, measured by brain chemistry. But not everyone's thrilled. Privacy watchdogs are already sounding alarms. If your mood can be tracked, it can be exploited. And if enough people wear these devices, what happens to those who refuse? Will emotional transparency become a new social norm, a hiring requirement, a dating expectation? Or worse, will employers mandate these devices under the guise of productivity? Will insurance companies offer lower rates if you wear one 24/7? Now picture Mia, a 38-year-old lawyer. She was forced to wear a headset as part of a high-stress job. It flagged her as a risk. When she showed signs of fatigue and frustration, she didn't get fired. But her big case, it went to someone else. Her emotions cost her opportunity. The line between enhancement and surveillance is reserved. But then there's Lucas's 50 ex-military. Couldn't hold a job due to emotional outbursts. Then he got a headset, tracked his emotional triggers, paired the data with therapy. 6 months in, he was mentoring other veterans, helping them reclaim control through tech. That's the duality of this innovation. Power with risk, clarity with consequence. In education, we're seeing headsets in classrooms. Kids flagged for anxiety before tests. Teachers alerted to boredom before it turns to disruption. Schools tailoring teaching styles in real time based on emotional feedback. It's helping neurodiverse kids thrive, but it's also raising questions. Who owns that emotional data? Parents, schools, governments. The races are not just to build the best headset, but to write the rules around them. And while some are building closed systems, others push for open source emotional AI, transparent algorithms, personal control over your own data. Because in the end, your mind is the final frontier of privacy. So what do? We learn. we prepare, we stay ahead of the curve. Because emotional data isn't just feedback, it's a mirror, a map, and for those who know how to read it, it's a competitive edge. In business, in love, in health, in life, the question is no longer, will you wear the headset? It's, what will you do with the power it gives you? And more urgently, who else is watching while you use it? So stay curious, stay critical, stay calm, because the future isn't written in code, it's written in brainwaves. And we're just starting to read them. Subscribe, stay sharp, think smart.